Konbanwa Firusui Futashi Gyoha, Orewa Bakayero. Good evening guys, Sirs here, and today we're going to talk about a little bit about something known as cancel culture. But before we talk about it, I want to let you guys know that, disclaimer, please do not attack any of the people mentioned in this video. They are human beings, they are not perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Also, even though I'm completely irrelevant and won't get in trouble for making these people look bad, it's still not worth wasting your time writing a trillion-word essay on why that person is worse than Adolf Hitler. Like, honestly, I do this shit because I'm a failure, have no future, and I'm depressed. But you guys are more than that, so please just don't. Unless you're also a failure and have no future. Anyways, let's begin. So you guys might be asking, what is cancel culture? According to the Urban Dictionary, the best source for information, cancel culture is when a large mob of people come together to relentlessly attack a certain person over an accusation of some kind, which later on is usually proven false. Generally, the accusation starts on Twitter, the original gets questioned then deleted, but the mob has already started attacking, and the person who made the accusation can enjoy a boost of followers. Cancel culture is definitely one of the worst things to come out of the internet. It's definitely up there with fandoms and Reddit text-to-speech videos. I mean, just imagine this. You're on Twitter, then suddenly a close ex-friend says something bad about you. Then everyone wants to kill you even though there was no proof or evidence supporting what the friend said other than just a bunch of words. That's pretty much cancel culture in a nutshell. However, there's still a reason to why cancel culture exists. A semi-decent reason. It's because people have uncertainty. They feel like even though there's no evidence, there's still the possibility of the event actually happening. And as a result, people feel hatred and enraged, and they sympathize with that person. They care about that person. And they have a hard time admitting that they are wrong, because they care so much about them. It's like, even though there's no evidence, there's still a possibility that it happened. Like, what if my friend was actually telling the truth? What if this guy that I knew personally actually pushed him to a corridor and fucking gang banged him with his other friends? Even though there's no evidence to support that, no images, no videos, nothing, there's still the chance that that could happen, because things like that do happen. However, we're not here to defend cancel culture. We're not here to explain. Well, I mean, we are here to explain why cancel culture happens. We're not here to defend it. We're here to do the opposite. How do you avoid cancel culture? How do you counter cancel culture? Step 1. Respond to those claims with proper evidence as quickly as possible. If you don't react to the situation quickly enough, the damage will be done. Step 2. Make people realize that they're acting irrationally even without your take on the situation. Say things like, if it's true, why haven't they called the police yet? Or, what they're saying isn't true. There's no pictures, no witnesses that know me personally, and only a bunch of text. Or something like that. Of course, it depends on the context. Step 3. Do not attack the victims, quote unquote. Instead, show support for them and try to help them not get ridiculed. With these 3 steps, you should be able to rebuild your reputation. Even though it's inevitable that you'll lose something, at least you'll be able to cool down the situation and regain support. Revenge is never the solution unless it's something that involves killing or raping. So, in a nutshell, if you're the person being accused within cancel culture, convince people that you're right and the accusers are wrong, and support the accusers. Like, I mean, don't support them in like the narrative that you're guilty. More so, like, tell people to not attack them. Tell them that you forgive them and things like that. Because really, in cancel culture, you lose more than you actually gain. And unless the accusation ends up being true and has like irrefutable evidence, and like the second party still has nothing to respond with, generally speaking, in cancel culture, no one should be affected, and everything should just go back to normal. And as the person participating in the mob or is interested in the situation and wants to assume a side, don't. Keep a neutral position. Even if that person is the best human being in existence, even though that person is your best friend, even though that person is a family member, you can't fully trust them if you don't hear both sides. Because both sides can provide insane amounts of evidence. Even though the accuser has a ton of evidence and screenshots and videos to support their claim, the accused can also respond to that and explain everything. They could debunk all of that evidence, quote unquote, or they could just explain all of the evidence used and say that it was taken out of context. You have to be patient. You have to stay in a neutral position and wait for more information to come out. Because or else, once the accused debunks everything, you're gonna look like a complete dumbass. And you'll feel betrayed, and you'll feel stupid. And you'll realize that you were defending, especially if both of the especially if both of those people are your friends, you realize that once you're wrong, you essentially attacked and betrayed that other friend that you were accusing. And the accuser, you were easily manipulated by them. Now, let's take a look at a few examples of cancel culture and how these people should have reacted. Number 1, ProJared. ProJared's controversy in a nutshell goes like this. ProJared sends a long thread on Twitter about his divorce with Heidi. Suddenly Heidi snaps and then goes for Holly. Then Holly said that she has nothing to do with anything and pieces out. ProJared's Tumblr account is hacked. Nudes of him circle throughout the internet, although it was already known thanks to Heidi, and it was all just a body positivity thing. Then 2 Twitter users known as Chai and Charlie start accusing ProJared for being a predator. May 17th, Jared states that the relationship was polyamorous and that Heidi gave the idea. Finally, the entire thing ends temporarily with bullshit tweets and bullshit. I mean, I'm not saying they were true or not. What I'm saying there is, it was all just filler. It was just restating stuff, and that's it. It was annoying stuff. It wasn't really needed. 3 months later, ProJared released a video in which he debunked Chai's and Charlie's accusations. They both deleted their own tweets, and it seems like ProJared has been in an uprising recently. However, ProJared could have done the following. 1. He should have contacted Normal Boots immediately. 2. He should have been a lot quicker in responding to Chai and Charlie. 3. He shouldn't have blocked Heidi. And 4. He shouldn't have even utilized the body positivity thing in the first place. Because even if there's consent and an 18+ requirement, there will still be stupid, weird, and perverted kids sending pictures and lying, and there is nothing you can do about it. And as for Heidi, she should have just not made everything such a huge deal. And she should have realized that her emotions were controlling her actions and not her common sense. As for Chai and Charlie, I'm sorry you guys, but you're both just a bunch of attention seeking doo doo heads. Number 2, James Charles. First, James Charles accidentally promotes vitamins produced by a company that was competing with Toddy's vitamin company. Then, Toddy releases a rant video on James Charles talking about how manipulative he was. Next, Jeffree Star said that James was dangerous and that he was banned, yada yada yada. Finally, James made a video that debunked everything, and now James got his subs back. Meanwhile, Toddy and Jeffree Star lose thousands upon thousands of subscribers. First of all, James did a pretty good job. He responded at the right time and ultimately got his reputation back. However, he should have been more careful, since everything went pretty south once he sponsored that vitamin company. Honestly, some of it was James Charles's fault in the end of the day, because he wasn't being careful, he wasn't being aware. But everything from the accusations, all of it was kind of bullcrap, really. Toddy should have kept things personal and not talk or announce anything in public, since her original intentions were not to hurt James Charles in the first place. And Jeffree, well, he kind of just bandwagoned on the entire situation. Like, why would he even comment on anything if the entire problem was between the waiter, a bunch of bullshit victims that were just saying a bunch of bullshit, I guess, because it was all just writing, and some of it could have just been lies. And even if it did happen, why didn't they contact the fucking police in the first place? Yeah, honestly, that's that. Like Toddy should have kept things personal, and James should have been more aware of his surroundings. Number 3. Oof. Slazo. Holy shit. This is the worst event of cancel culture by far, not only because it contains the worst accusations out of the 3, but it also comes jam-packed with attention-seeking bullshit. People that still believe that the events were true despite everything being debunked, and etc. It all started off with Che tweeting about why she stopped uploading and talked about her being abused, quote unquote, by Slazo. Slazo got destroyed and memed by a ton of YouTubers, some of them big, some of them small. Keemstar reached out to Slazo eventually. Slazo said he had already sorted out the entire situation with Che personally. Then Slazo made a video where he explained the whole situation and stated that Che was consenting, yada yada yada. Everything about this is retarded. The least offensive crime committed inside this whole fucking shit show was Slazo himself. The one that blamed the least, the one that was targeted, and the one that kept the most amount of respect and maturity. Starting off with Che, why the fuck would she release a 1,000,000,000-word thread about all of this shit when she could have just talked to the fucking police and kicked Slazo's N-word ass into jail? I mean, it's because there wasn't enough evidence, evidently. I bet she said all of this horse shit just to gain attention and ruin Slazo's career because of how emotionally destroyed she was, I guess. But I mean, we're talking about a relationship between two 16-year-olds. Of course there's going to be some level of immaturity inside the whole situation, which makes me happy because both parties were wrong in the end of the day. Slazo for being a bad boyfriend and Che for being incredibly childish. But it also makes me super fucking angry to a point that I'm gonna suffer a fucking aneurysm. Because alongside all of this fucking bullcrap, there's Slazo's friends and a bunch of man-childs jumping into the bandwagon for some reason, even though it was Che's and Slazo's problem. not theirs. I guess it's because, oh, Che is such a great friend, she wouldn't lie. But I mean, come on, you're gonna get easily manipulated by a fucking 18-year-old? Are you honestly kidding me? First, Dolan Dark, a person that shamed Slazo publicly and supported the narrative of Slazo being an abuser, who after being pressed by the situation, only said that he knew her personally and believed that she wouldn't lie. That's the level we're in right now. Destroying the reputation of someone and accusing them of a crime that could lend them 20 fucking years in prison because you wanted to defend a friend, despite the claims already being debunked. And not even trying the slightest to look up more evidence than just some random out of context screenshots. Alongside Dolan Dark comes Weast, who even to this day still believes that Che didn't lie because he doesn't believe that she lied, and he didn't even apologize, even after there was enough evidence from Slazo that all of this was complete bullcrap. I mean, Weast is kind of funny and all, but come on, man. You can't be that big of a piece of fucking shit. And then there's I'm Alex, the slippery fuck who, despite the fact that both parties were neither on the right or wrong side, and despite the fact that it was proven that Che lied, meaning that she basically lost all forms of trust on her, he still supports her. What is the point of all of this? Che ended up gaining nothing out of the situation. Not only did she damage Slazo's reputation and gave him PTSD, but she also potentially lost all forms of trust from the majority of people. She's honestly so lucky for having, like, she's so lucky that there are big YouTubers supporting her, despite the fact that supporting her in the first place is illogical and semi stupid, and only shows how mentally weak they are. In the end of the day, I guess he shouldn't have been a bad boyfriend and should have been more aware about the consequences. I mean, Che did have a pretty ginormous following and such, and so did Slazo. So if he fucked up, he would inevitably end up in something really, really bad. Che shouldn't have outright lied, and she should have contained her emotions. She should have just moved on after talking the whole thing out with Slazo, kept it personal. And as for Dolan Dark, Weast, I'm Alex, and every drama-mongering idiot that participated in this world war, can you guys use your brain cells and not your emotions? Even if I met Jesus Christ in person, and he told me that my best friend ass raped him 40 times, I wouldn't fucking go out of my way to murder or ridicule my friend. I have to listen to the other side of the spectrum. Even the best person in the world isn't perfect. And in this hypothetical case, Jesus could have been lying the whole time. If a person that you love and care for does something scumbaggy, but you still refuse to accept that they're wrong, then I'm sorry, but you're a dumbass and a mentally weak human being. Sure, Slazo might have done some shady shit, but if he did, why isn't he in jail and why hasn't it been reported to the police? It's so blatantly obvious. Yet because of people not knowing how to manage their emotions, they act illogically and end up doing stupid fucked up shit that makes them look really bad. To wrap up this video, we can conclude the following. Cancel culture's greatest culprits are the following. 1. Acting emotionally, not logically. 2. The execution of the conflict. 3. The status of everyone involved. When a conflict happens, don't let your emotions take over. Instead, take a neutral stance and listen to both sides. Don't draw conclusions until you get enough information from both parties. Analyze the execution of the conflict. Try to figure out the situation to why everyone should know this. And finally, do not judge people by their status, because in the end of the day, everyone that's in this is a human, and everyone has emotions, everyone has weaknesses, and everyone could be right or wrong. If this video didn't help you out with cancel culture, I recommend a movie called 12 Angry Men. Following the closing arguments in a murder trial, the 12 members of the jury must deliberate with a guilty verdict, meaning death for the accused, an inner city teen. As the dozen men try to reach a unanimous decision while sequestered in a room, one juror, Henry Fonda, casts considerable doubt on elements of the case. It's an amazing movie, and if you don't want to get bamboozled by cancel culture ever again, and this video didn't work out for you, then this movie is for you. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, especially if you learned from this video. Activate notifications, do not miss out on any of my videos. Again, do not attack any of these people. Or I don't even care anymore. I'm irrelevant as hell. I guess do whatever you want. I don't know. It's just a waste of time, but whatever. I'm personally doing this because trying to do something with my free time, so whatever. Have a nice day, as always, or night. Goodbye.